what is in Normam 20, is written there that the ballast water exchange must be done very far from the coast, 200 miles from the coast, ocean environment, very different than the coastal environment. The species that live there don't live here, and vice versa. Then ecologically, biologically, if you exchange the water, the coastal water that is inside of the ship with oceanic water, you can minimize the problem. If you deballast in the port ocean water, they are very clean, they have a very low density of organisms, and the species are completely different. Then theoretically is a very good way to control. But the ships were not prepared to do this exchange in the ocean. Maybe we don't have even one ship built with the condition to do that. First, because this is new, comparing with the construction of the ships, the day of the construction. And the other problem is ballast water exchange is in the international law is something that has a deadline, a day to finish. We cannot use ballast water exchange forever. If the sea is not very calm, if we do a ballast water exchange in the middle of the ocean, the ship can break, and or they can change the stability. Then this is a problem, very serious problem that we have in ballast water exchange. Today, if the ships were not built to do that, if they do, they can have problems in terms of security of life in the ship. And life in any international discussion, this is good, is more important than any other thing. Then if you have to save the people that are in the ship, this is enough to avoid this procedure. If the ship is not built to do that, and if you have problems in the sea to do, then we have to accept the position of the captain. No, sorry, but I could not do that because the sea was not good enough to do that. Then the ballast water exchange can minimize the problem, but in some cases you cannot have this. Something that must change in the world, in the future. What we have for the future, I will not detail this here, is to have a treatment, a system of treatment in the ship to treat the water. Chlorine has other problems. Trialomethanes, for example, a substance that can cause cancer, not only in the species, but also in ourselves. But this is the future. The ships in the future must be built with a treatment system there, using UV, using ozone, using centrifugation, using filtration, using many ways to kill, to keep in some way the organisms. We are talking about, how could I say, a complete sterile water, pure water. This is something strange, how we have to produce in a ship a pure water without life, if in many ports we have so many things that are very much worse than some thing in the water. Then this is a question. If we don't take care of our sewage that are released in the ports, now we want to have a pure water in the ballast tanks. This is something that don't combine very well. But we say the things that we have in our ports are produced here. If you add stains, different stains of cholera or other things in our port, or the port is not completely full of sewage. We have areas, or we have ports that are very clean, transparent water. Then this must be a solution applied in everywhere. The fact that in Guanabara Bay we have a very polluted area is not a reason to the captain of a ship coming from Miami say, oh, your water is so dirty, why should I be worried with the small amount of organism that I can release there? This is not accepted. I learned this in London. Some people from this developed country that have very clean ports today, they say, but the water in Brazil is so dirty, why you should be so worried with the microorganisms in the ballast? Sorry, we don't have some types of microorganisms. But how to virus, bacteria, how to separe that? Then these systems are very complicated. They are being produced. The industry, the companies are producing systems to install in the ships. Must be approved by IMO. This is the rules that we have to accept a ship with a system on board. And they are being approved with chlorine, with UV, the byproducts, the products that are produced without our even knowledge are very important. They can cause more problems than the organisms. Then we must be worried about what are being produced by the system. In this case, chemicals. They are worried. The IMO is very worried about the byproducts. The products that are produced during the use of the system. As an example, we have the trialomethanes that I told you, but we can produce a lot of toxins that are produced by, for example, UV in seawater, organic matter, combination of different things. You can have toxins. Then this is something for the future, but we must be aware about what are being produced and released in our waters. IMO is controlling. IMO has a very very good group of specialists to analyze all these systems. But we cannot simply accept the system without any study, any assessment of what are happening in our ports. Then it's something that we have to create in our countries to follow what's happening in the world in terms of control of invasive species.